Your boss won't listen to you. Your spouse doesn't listen to you. Your kids barely know you're alive. But here at The Fan, we love and appreciate you.
Just when we learn to appreciate what a huge wussy you are.
This is the show for the people, by the people. It's The Fan Call-In Show.
Presented by the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Here are the leaders of the Lunatic Fringe, Scotty Vegas and Ryan Baker.
Welcome in. It is the Fan Call-In Show. I'm Ryan Baker. He is Scotty Vegas. We got Cam Taylor on the other side answering your calls. Plenty of fun things to talk about on this Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you're enjoying your 3-day weekend a little bit here. Hopefully you get a 3-day weekend actually in there as well, Scotty. But a bunch of fun things to talk about. And Memorial Day is kind of the kickoff to summer, right? To a lot of people, it's like, even though, this is my kind of weather, but this may not exactly be pool or out on the lake kind of weather, which a lot of people like to do on Memorial Day. But this is like the unofficial start to summer. And it got us thinking a little bit about what summer sporting events are we looking forward to this summer. It also got me thinking a little bit with the Indianapolis 500 today about a topic we talked about a couple weeks ago in your favorite one-off sporting events too. And I know for a lot of people, the Indianapolis 500 is something that's always been there.
Yeah, good call, Ryan, as far as, it being the unofficial start to summer. And I will tell you, as far as the pool goes, I was at the pool yesterday.
Really?
Sure, it was a little chilly, but we did, the kids went in and we stayed on the side and watched them. But yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend. You got to get to the pool. And then as far as the favorite sporting events of the summer, there's a lot of them that kind of pop up, as you said, as one-offs. And for me, there's a couple local ones that I love. In my top 5 of summer events is this coming week, and it's the Memorial Tournament. I can't wait to be out there. That's going to be so much fun. And if you want to call in kind of with your tips for being out at Muirfield Village, like maybe there's a hole that you suggest people that if you're going out for the first time that they go visit and watch, or hey, maybe this is your favorite spot to be. We would love to get your tips for people heading out to Muirfield Village this coming week.
Or if you have a favorite Memorial Tournament memory or moment that you have, any of that, 614-821-9710 is the number. We do have some ESPN Sportsbook dining credits over at the Hollywood Casino for some of our favorite callers. So again, 614-821-9710. Scotty, I'm super excited for the Memorial this year because since I've been at the Fan, I've always been out of town for the Memorial Tournament working. I was always working the state softball tournament for the OHSAA. Those things got pushed back a couple of weeks, so I'll have the state softball tournament and the state baseball tournament the following 2 weekends, but I get to be here and participate with you guys out at Muirfield this week, and I'm excited for that.
I can't wait for you to go out there because just walking around the course is a lot of fun. Like if you get the opportunity, just walk the entire 18. It's really, really a special thing. And then the other thing that's really cool with it being an elevated event is you've got nothing but huge names here for the most part. And that's what makes it extra special. You get one of the best fields in all of golf. And so that's very cool. I have so many stories. I think this will be my 15th year going out to the Memorial Tournament. And I have so many fun stories and memories that just run through my mind. One of them was actually during COVID. It was the year where they were not allowing any fans on the grounds. However, Anthony Rothman and I did a show from out there, and we did a show. We had to wear masks, going in and to do the show. You do the show, and then every second you were away from your microphone, you had a mask on, and you were walking around. However, there was no one else on the course other than the players. And so Anthony and I were just walking around. We followed around with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy, and it was just an unbelievable feeling being on a golf course with all these stars and no fans. It was wild. And so that's one of the memories. And it's just one of those things where as far as where I like to be for the Memorial, I love going to the par threes. Camping out at a par 3, sitting by the green, maybe placing a little wager with my buddy who's with me and saying, okay, what's the chances he hits the green? $5 he hits the green, $5 he doesn't hit the green. And we just kind of go back and forth, and that's a fun time.
Again, the phone number, 614-821-9710. It is your show. Call in. Favorite callers. We've got some dining credits to the ESPN Sportsbook over at Hollywood Casino. I've lived in Columbus my whole life, Scotty. I have only been to the Memorial Tournament twice.
Wow.
And I remember the one time we went out there, it was kind of, not that he was ever super popular, but Charlie Hoffman was kind of like, he had just kind of got on the scene, and he always wore the green glove and all of that. And some people had like redone the PGA Tour logo with Charlie Hoffman with the hair flowing.
Yes.
So we followed Charlie Hoffman all the way around on his front nine. And then we went and watched some other players, Tiger and guys like that. But I remember following Charlie Hoffman for a whole 9 holes just because he was like a guy that we were like, hey, we kind of like this dude, new on the scene. And
well, it's fun to see who the player to follow is, who it is for that year, because I've been out there where you have so many kids who wear orange because they love Ricky Fowler. And so people like little kids will be out there to try and find Ricky Fowler. And then there was a year that we were out there when Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau were in a little bit of a feud.
Yeah.
And I remember standing at that tee box where Bryson was teeing off, and people were heckling Bryson, which just doesn't happen generally on a golf course. However, people were so Team Brooks or Team Bryson that people were giving Bryson a lot of crap as he was teeing off. So it's
and my how that has switched with Bryson DeChambeau in the past few years.
Big
like
time.
He went
Total
from
switch.
enemy number 1 to now he's one of the most popular guys on tour, and people root for him. Even though he defected and went to the LIV tournament, he has used YouTube and social media and just changed his whole persona. I thought it was interesting this week. Rothman and Ice had Dan Sullivan, the tournament director of the Memorial, on, and I thought it was interesting that he had, they were talking about Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth, who are both going to be in the field this coming week at the Memorial, but they're both on exemptions. Neither of them qualified for this tournament. That's how, and I knew Ricky had struggled, and you know my thoughts about Ricky a little bit. It's, this guy, and it's popularity. People on the tour love him. But he's only got 6 wins ever. Like, he's never really lived up to his hype as far as the playing wise. But, who cares? People love him. I just thought that was crazy that him and especially Jordan Spieth had to get special exemptions to play at Jack's Place this week.
Well, golf is such a funny game, Ryan. Like, careers can disappear. Like, you look at a Jason Day who, 8 to 10 years ago, it was like, oh my gosh, Jason Day is going to win a ton of majors, right? He had won a PGA championship, and he was young, and he was playing really well. Had some injury issues,
had some health issues, right?
Absolutely.
Some vertigo and whatnot.
But so did Jordan Spieth. Spieth's been going through some injury issues as well. And once that happens in golf, man, there's so many guys that can pass you up. But yeah, it's still fun to follow and see all the fans that follow Ricky, because he's someone who signs all the autographs out there. Reminder, phone lines open, 614-821-9710. This is your show, and so let's go out to the phone lines, and we're going to talk to Jason. Jason, welcome to the Fan Call-In Show. What school are you representing this morning?
Let's go with Franklin University.
Lingerie on the deck with that move.
Love it, Jason. Go ahead.
Okay, so you talk about favorite sports. Now, I'm a baseball fan. I have the baseball ticket, so I'll be doing it today. I'll cook out, have a garage TV, and I'll be in and out, watching it, flipping around the games. My friends can't understand it, how I can watch boring baseball. But as far as like one event, I would have to go with the British Open, simply because, you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and Sunday, and you got golf on, especially if it's coming down to 2 guys that are fighting for it. So I really like that, that early morning golf. I do have one question for you guys. So I took the North Carolina Tar Heels over at 7.5 wins this year. My friends think I'm crazy. They think it's going to be like a Deion Sanders first year. What's your take, or have you even looked at it? Like the Tar Heels over/under for football wins.
Jason, real quick, before we answer your question, I have one for you, and I think I know your answer based on the British Open, but you talked about being a big baseball fan. The Guardians playing the special Roku game today. They're actually getting underway here in about 20, 25 minutes. How do you feel about the 11:35 baseball on Sunday?
Yeah, I love it. So that's perfect for me because Sunday is my day. I like to get yard work done early and then start to relax right around this time. So that's perfect for me.
Jason, thank you so much for the call. I'll tell you what, since you answered a question for us, we'll go ahead and give you a dining credit to the ESPN Sportsbook over at Hollywood Casino. Scotty, I'll let you start off here on the UNC take.
Well, I haven't dove that deep into North Carolina as far as the talent that they have coming back. But you're right, as far as the circus, it's already been a bit of a circus. And it's funny because there are opportunities to bet on North Carolina, and some of the ones that I've seen over under 7.5 wins is out there. But gosh, you think Bill Belichick coming in can flip things around relatively quickly just based on his name. I kind of feel like that number might be a little inflated because of the Bill Belichick name. So it's one that I will personally be staying away from. It wouldn't shock me if Carolina goes in the ACC and wins 8 games. The ACC is not all that good, but it's one that I will probably stay away from because I think that number is going to be maybe a game inflated because of Bill Belichick.
Here's why I would stay away from it is they have had like a mass exodus in the transfer portal, and I don't think they have a ton coming back here. Plus, there's a lot of distraction going on right now. Now, you don't know how Bill has it with the program and the players, and he said he's talked to the players about his relationship, and everybody is on the same page here. But I think that's a little crazy. The one thing, though, you mentioned their schedule. It's not very tough. TCU, at Charlotte, Richmond, at UCF, Clemson. That's going to be a tough one. At Cal, Virginia, at Syracuse, Stanford, at Wake Forest, Duke, at NC State. So the schedule isn't too difficult. So if Bill can get them on a roll, they could do it. I would stay away from that, though.
So there are odds out there on North Carolina make the 12-team college football playoff. They're 6-1 to make the playoff. They are 4-1 to make the ACC championship game. And to me, it's going to be a stay away. That schedule is interesting. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of tough games there. However, I still think when you're thinking about the ACC and flying out to play at Cal and just the weirdness of the schedule for Carolina, it's just a stay away from me. But hey, I wanted to bring something else up that Jason was talking about. He said it's a garage TV day or a back patio TV. And I couldn't agree anymore. There is nothing to me like taking your television outside. Like if you can get, it out on the back patio, get a little fire going, grilling, that is the ultimate sports day weekend.
And this is the kind of day for it. If you get too hot, you start to get into the 80s. To me, with that, I'm out. Like, I don't want to be out there sweating. Like, to me, when I usually think of something like that, it's in the fall. You mentioned a fire. That's always nice. This is going to be a fall-like day today, so I'm with you on that. 614-821-9710 is the number. We want to hear from you. Anything in the sports world, we'd love to talk to you about it. Nick, hang on the line. You're first on the other side. It is the Fan Call-In Show.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking. An account that's filled with features, but no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Because it's your money, right? So we think you should keep it. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney.
Hey, Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
We've discovered the perfect morning ritual, the 2 for $6 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. Every sandwich is made to order with a freshly cracked egg and melty cheese, just the way breakfast should be. Choose between savory sausage or hickory smoked bacon, served on a toasted English muffin or flaky biscuit. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches, just $6. Perfect. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, single item at regular menu price. Modifications and tax extra. Exclusions and additional terms apply.
Matty Ice here. When I need a new Chevy, I head to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, get up to $11,000 off MSRP on a 25 Silverado 1500. They've got no market adjustments, no hidden costs, and sales managers are on the floor ready to help. That's been the McDaniel difference since 1916. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Their semi-annual sale includes 4 free windows with the purchase of 4 windows, a free entry door, and no money down interest or payments until 2027. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today.
Rothman and Ice.
When you have a star player, you commit to him and you worry about everything down the road. You do everything you can to capitalize on this window of time that you have.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, and tell me if this sounds familiar. Over the weekend, you went into your closet trying on shorts from last year. They were all too tight, so you searched deeper in the closet, looking through shorts you stashed away from thinner years. Maybe a big pair had gotten lost in the mix. No luck. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't buy bigger shorts. Instead, do what I did and fit into the ones from last year in just a few weeks with Awaken 180 weight loss. Heck, you'll be wearing your thin shorts again just a few weeks after that. How do I know? Because I'm still wearing my thin Austin shorts again this summer. I've kept my 50 pounds off thanks to Awaken 180's free maintenance support for life. Say it with me. I won't buy bigger shorts. Make that pledge, then call Awaken 180 and make the most out of this summer and every summer after. Awaken 180, your long-term solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or head online at awaken180weightloss.com. You won't regret it.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Aaron White with your forecast here for your Sunday. We're tracking more cloud cover across the area and the chance for a couple of rain showers, but otherwise most of us will stay dry. High temperatures into the mid-60s for today. And then tonight, partly cloudy skies, lows into the upper 40s to near 50. By Monday for your Memorial Day, we're tracking a mix of clouds and sunshine and highs back into the lower 70s before we talk about rain and cooler temperatures back in the forecast here for your Tuesday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The show that allows you, the sports fan, to be the star.
We love this hour every week because it is the show for the people by the people. It is the Fan Call-In Show. 614-821-9710 is the number. We'd love to hear from you on this Memorial Day weekend. What are you excited for in sports coming up? What event in sports this summer are you most looking forward to? Of course, Ohio State football. We can always talk about Ohio State basketball, which I want to talk to you a little bit about here coming up later on in the show as well. Again, 614-821-9710 is the number. ESPN dining credits to the ESPN Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino for some of our favorite callers. Let's head back out to the phone lines now. Let's go to Nick. Nick, thank you for waiting. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, man. Thank you guys very, very much. I listen to you guys all the time. This is the first time I've called in, but thank you so much. I represent, we'll say, Columbus State Community College.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Go ahead, Nick.
I wanted to call in because I'm really, really excited, not only for the weather and the holiday weekend, but because golf is at the top of the menu kind of at the moment. Of course, I'm excited about the U.S. Open, but I couldn't be more excited for the Memorial Tournament and the fact that you guys are going to do, 40-plus hours live at the tournament. I got involved with the LPGA Tour. I've spent over half my life in Hawaii, and I started with the LPGA Tour back in like 2003, and I started as a standard bearer at the LPGA Tour, and it turned over that I started working the Sony Open every year in Hawaii, which is one of the first tournaments of the year, of course, that everybody knows. And then I transferred, I'm from Columbus. I've just lived in Hawaii over half my life, and I've worked at the Memorial as a standard bearer for like 10 years. And, just the excitement of having the guys around, and people don't really understand how really down to earth and really cool a lot of these golfers are. Some people think that, they've got all this money and whatever, they've got big heads. Some of the biggest names in golf that I've carried a sign for throughout the tournaments inside the ropes with these guys, you don't really get an understanding of how cool and really down to earth and really fun these guys are to be around. And when you spend 4 or 5 hours a day with these guys, and, in my case in Hawaii, I would carry twice a day. So I got a chance to walk 36 holes with these guys. And, just to see how really good they are, like in between the ropes, to stand next to them while they're hitting these shots. And then to get to know them on a personal level is really cool. So I'm always excited for the Memorial every year because I get to see some of the guys that I've carried for in the past, just even being a spectator or whatever down at the Memorial. And it's a priceless event. And I couldn't be happier for Columbus,
Nick, absolutely. Everything you said, right on. Yeah, fantastic. And you're absolutely right. It is kind of like golf takes center stage and you get the best of the best here. And it's just kind of one of those moments where you just really appreciate the city you live in too. Like I take a lot of pride on that drive to Muirfield Village and just like what this city kind of comes together and how big of an event it is and how it keeps growing and getting better. Like I love it. I absolutely do. And I've stood there, at the end on 18 when there's been playoffs and winning putts, and I've seen a lot of dramatic golf action, but the best part of it isn't even the golf. It's just the atmosphere, the partying, the being around there, walking the course, getting to meet a lot of new people, enjoying the time. The weather's usually really good. So, yeah, it's one of those great weeks in Columbus that you absolutely love.
And, Nick, if you're out there, obviously, next Sunday, of course, make sure you come by during the call-in show and say hello, as we will be out there. He mentioned the Fan 40 hours, Scotty. We're going to be out there starting on Wednesday, and then all of our shows Thursday and Friday until 6 p.m. And then we'll have weekend shows out there as well. I know On the Money and the call-in show. We will be live at Muirfield next week, so make sure you come up and say hello, Nick. The only thing I could think of while Nick was talking about that is I hope he wasn't the volunteer that almost got hit by Wyndham Clark when he turned and swung and flung his driver and broke it last week.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, seriously. You know, I'm glad Nick brought up the point where you can get so up close and personal with the players, because it's very unlike most sports, right? Where you could just be walking around like kind of near the grounds and players are just walking kind of right by you, and it's a sport where it just like you're like, oh wow, you know, that Rory McIlroy was just walking 5 feet by me, you know, and you don't get that experience generally with most sports. Tennis is another sport where you just will see players walking around the grounds and it's like, oh my gosh, there's Novak Djokovic, the best player in the world, and or at that time he was, and you know, it's just a cool experience of getting up close and personal to these players.
And something else that's really cool too, Scotty, it's not just the tournament itself, but you got the Pro-Am as well. I remember a couple years ago we had AR with a roving mic.
We're doing that
people
again.
Down and getting interviews with them while they're playing. Steph Curry, Peyton Manning. I mean, there's some celebrities, sports celebrities that are going to be out there as well. So it's not just the tournament, which is awesome Thursday through Sunday, but you got the Pro-Am, the practice rounds, all of that stuff is, and sometimes that stuff can even be better.
Yeah. So I did my top 5 list of summer sporting events I'm most excited for. Okay. And Memorial Tournament was number 5 on my list. Love it. Can't wait to get out there. Number 4 on the list was the NBA Finals. I do enjoy watching the finals, whether I'm necessarily invested in either team that's in it. I do love NBA Finals, just the history of it and all that good stuff. 3 for me is NHL, like the Stanley Cup Finals. We say what you want. As I'm not a huge hockey guy, I love watching the finals. Number 2 to me is Wimbledon. As a tennis guy, that is on my bucket list. I have got to get to Wimbledon at some point. That's number 2 on the list. And number 1 for me, summer sporting events. I'm going U.S. Open, and I'm extra excited for it this year being at Oakmont. The rough looks like it's going to be absolutely ridiculous there. The greens are unbelievably fast. That's going to be quite the showdown. And if we can get a Scotty versus Rory showdown at the U.S. Open, sign me up for that. That's my top 5 summer events.
I will give you my top 5 after the break. 614-821-9710. That is the number. Plenty of room for you. Call in and let us know what you're excited for this summer. I will give you my top 5, Scotty, after the break, and then I got to talk a little Ohio State basketball because I feel like I lost a little bit of my heart this week with Ohio State basketball. That's how much I was ready to jump back in on the bandwagon, and then it got ripped away from me. That coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Call-In Show on The Fan.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your
Mountain Dew.
Do the Do.
Are you experiencing knee pain? Is something as simple as walking up and down the stairs painful? Well, I found the answer to your pain. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell. What Columbus Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff and his team are doing is nothing short of remarkable. They are using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in your achy joints. These are biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joints. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing old tissues. Best part with QC Kinetics, there are no drugs, shots, there's no surgeries involved, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatment that can help you live your best life. The consultation is free. New locations in Grove City and Canal Winchester. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Oh, hey, the best football team in the country's on the best radio station in the country. Congratulations, Buckeyes. Here's to 100 more years together. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Back to the show of the fans, by the fans, and for these crazy fans. The Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Halfway through the call-in show, 614-821-9710 is the number to call in. We're talking a lot about our things we're most excited for this summer. Scotty, you gave your list last segment. What was your top 5 again that you're excited for this summer?
Summer events. Number 1, U.S. Open at Oakmont. Number 2, Wimbledon. Number 3, I've got NHL Finals. 4, NBA Finals. 5, the Memorial Tournament this week.
So my number 1 is the same as yours. I'm excited for this U.S. Open. I saw some pictures of the rough at Oakmont. Now, it's not going to be as thick as it is right now. They're going to cut it down some, but that rough is ridiculous. And I know, like you, I'm big on Bryson in the U.S. Open. He's the defending champion, and he just hits the ball so daggone far that he's kind of a cheat code when the rough is that big. So there may be a little bit of money placed on Bryson already and some certain bets. So I'm excited for the U.S. Open. Number 2 for me is the Stanley Cup Finals. And the only reason it's not number 1 for me is I think it's a foregone conclusion that the Florida Panthers are winning right now. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup with the Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. Maybe not, but that's how the feel I get on it right now. But there's nothing like Stanley Cup playoff hockey. It's the best to me, and it's so good. I've even had guys that aren't hockey fans recently, like that are kind of starting to learn about it, texting me during these playoffs like, dude, playoff hockey is so good. And it really is. So Stanley Cup playoffs is number 2 for me. I know you're not a big fight guy. I love International Fight Week for the UFC, and they usually have a big pay-per-view, and it's one of their biggest. This year is a good one. As well. It's in June. UFC 317 is going to be. I love International Fight Week. Usually I'm actually in Florida when that happens. It's a little earlier this week. It's at the end of June, so that's my number 3. Number 4 for me would be the British Open. The British Open is just different. It's golf that we don't see all the time, and I always think that's fun, seeing the players adjust to that. And you might be surprised by my number 5, but it's Wimbledon. I love Wimbledon. I actually enjoy watching tennis on TV. I don't do it much anymore. I used to do it a lot as a kid. But Wimbledon, again, is something different. Like, I know there's other grass tournaments, but it's just different. It's like the Masters, right? You can only wear white. There just seems like this big prestige to it. And like, I feel like if there's anything close to the Masters, it's Wimbledon, and I always enjoy that.
Really, really good list, Ryan. And you actually brought up a couple that I wish I had put in my top 5. British Open, I'm right there with you because I love waking up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning and throwing on golf. And British Open golf, major championship golf in the morning is spectacular. Cincinnati Open tennis tournament for me because it's in Ohio. I go to it every year. I look forward to that. And then how about this? Growing up, the MLB All-Star Game used to be one thing that I would actually tape it. I would get a VCR tape and I would tape the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and rewatch it. I loved it so much as a kid. It doesn't really register for me much anymore, but I'll still watch it.
Most All-Star games don't, right?
Yeah, I'll still watch a little bit of it, and I still will watch the Home Run Derby. I'll actually watch the Home Run Derby at the casino because we're going to throw a watch party for it. But that Home Run Derby is something I do look forward to in the summertime.
614-821-9710 is the number. Let's head back out to the phone lines. Let's go to Kurt. Kurt, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Great to talk to you guys here this morning.
Kurt, you got a school you're representing this morning.
Yeah, my alma mater, the Ohio University Bobcats.
You can't see me, dog.
I know Scotty loves it when Bobcats call. What do you got, Kurt?
Yeah, I'd have to say the event that I look forward to most in the summer is what you guys just talked about, the MLB All-Star Game and everything around it. You know, obviously the Derby as well there. I understand the shine has come off of All-Star games a lot here over the last couple of years, especially, with them, not really having anything to play for and everything. But it just the amount of talent and just everything that you have when it comes to all the great players that have gone through that game, as well as just at the games. I've been lucky enough to go to 2 of them, one in Pittsburgh, one in Cleveland. There's just amazing events, just seeing all that talent out there in one field. And even though there isn't much to play for, obviously, or really nothing to play for, at the same time too, you can tell some of the players they want to win, and they really do put their full effort, because when you're going up against the best of the best, you want to show that you're just as good as well. So definitely the MLB All-Star Game for me.
Kurt, it's a great call. And Scotty, while he was talking there, it got me thinking of it, and you talked about it as well. It got me thinking a little bit. And I do think the MLB All-Star Game is as close to real level play as you get from an All-Star game. Because when you're going up there facing a guy throwing 100 miles an hour, you got to be kind of in, right? If you're going to do that, you got to care a little bit. And it doesn't seem like the MLB All-Star Game, you have guys sitting out like you do other All-Star games. Like, sometimes a pitcher, if it hits with his starting schedule or whatever, they'll keep him out or whatnot. Or maybe they don't want to fatigue the arm. So sometimes you'll see a pitcher miss. But usually everyday guys, unless they're actually hurt, you don't see them miss that. Do you think interleague play is what really killed the MLB All-Star Game? Because you didn't used to see, guys from the Guardians play guys from the Reds, or guys from the White Sox play the Cubs, except for the World Series or the All-Star Game. Do you think interleague play is something that kind of took a lot of shine off the All-Star Game?
I don't think there's any doubt that it did a little bit. And I know they went through that period where they were trying to make it worth something, for the league that won the All-Star Game. And I didn't, that didn't matter to me. For me as a kid, I just loved seeing all the different hats and all the different uniforms and all that stuff represented. And I loved Home Run Derby the day before. Like, to me, Home Run Derby, I went to a Home Run Derby in Pittsburgh, and the excitement that was there that night was extremely cool. It felt like you were a part of a humongous sport event when you were at the Home Run Derby. So, and that's another thing is, as a kid, I used to try and do home run derbies in my backyard.
I think everyone did, right?
And so you're related to that Home Run Derby and All-Star Weekend. So I appreciate the call. Very, very good call.
Let's head back out to those phone lines, grab another call. Let's go to Bruce. Bruce, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Morning, guys. How are you?
We're doing good, Bruce. You got a school you're representing this morning.
My old school, along with Tito's, Columbus Brookhaven, which unfortunately is no longer.
I live in a van down by the river.
I'm sorry you had to go to school with Tito, though. The same school as Tito.
Yeah. Major League All-Star Game. Not quite old enough to remember when they had 2 a year, because they do it at the halfway and then at the end of the year so they'd have 2 All-Star games a year. Not quite that old, but was able to attend the 1970 All-Star Game in Cincinnati. And of course, Pete's known for scoring the winning run. But the highlight for me was to sit in right center field, look down at the National League outfield of Clemente, Mays, and Aaron. And I'm like, man, you'll never see an outfield like this.
Yeah.
I was telling my brother, I said, you'll never see anything like that. But one thing that hardly anybody ever brings up, and of course this is an all-star game, so not everybody except Pete was going 100%. But I remember Willie Horton of the Tigers hit a screamer off the right center field wall. Clemente played it off the wall and just missed throwing him out at first. Because, of course, Willie was not the fleetest of foot, and he was dogging it a little bit, being an all-star game. But Clemente came within just nipping him at first base. And that's things I remember from the 70 All-Star Game.
Yeah, Clemente, an all-time outfield arm there. That is cool. I've seen a couple things on social media recently, and they would be like, man, this 72 NL lineup, you can't beat it. And it is pretty cool seeing like Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Joe Morgan, Johnny Bench, like all of these guys going out and playing on the same team. It's pretty cool. It's kind of the feeling that I get like when you watch the Olympics in hockey, or like we just had with the Four Nations face-off, seeing that Team Canada, the best of the best, against Team U.S., how good that is when you truly get best on best and they're going out there and they actually care about something. There's nothing better in sports.
Yeah, appreciate the call. Now, here's the thing. We're talking about all these different summer events that we absolutely would love. Now, what if you could attend one? Okay, we're talking about our list of favorite sports summer events, but let's say I can fly you out to whatever venue, whatever arena, whatever that you want to go to, anything this summer, what would it be? Because, like, maybe you choose Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Maybe you choose you want to go to Sunday of the U.S. Open. Maybe you choose you want to go to the Wimbledon Finals. What would be the event and venue that you would go to?
So a Game 7 of a Stanley Cup Finals would be electric, and I hope someday to be in attendance when the Blue Jackets are playing in a Game 7 of a Stanley Cup Finals. But I think if you're going to go somewhere, I think a British Open trip is like a once-in-a-lifetime type thing. So I think if you're going to say, I'm going to fly you out, you can go to this, I think it would have to be like Sunday of the British Open, because I just think that that's just something that's so different.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. For me, it's Wimbledon.
Wimbledon would be cool too, though.
Center court,
same thing a
finals,
little bit.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's so good, though. There's so many great choices. All of them are good. Still room for you. 614-821-9710. One segment left. Ken, I see you there. Hang on the line. We will get to you next. It's the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When you join the plus side with AAA, that's all you'll have to do. Or you could learn to change your own tire.
Hey fam, what's up? Today I'm going to teach you to change a flat. Before we start, make sure it's not raining, or hailing, or lightning.
You can have AAA find you the right insurance policy, or you can shop for your own.
Hello?
I'm with Mega Insure. You requested a quote?
Yes, 3 months ago.
You could have our travel advisors plan your dream vacation, or book your own travel.
Woo! Panama City Beach! Spring break!
I thought you said we were going to Panama.
Wait, there's a difference?
Skip the hard work. On the plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plus side.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is bringing the funny this summer. Tiffany Haddish takes the mic on Friday, July 18th with the Funny and Fearless Tour. Then Dion Cole Live hits the stage Friday, September 5th for a night of nonstop laughs. 2 comedy icons, 2 unforgettable nights. Get your friends, grab a drink, and get ready to laugh all night long. Big names, big laughs, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Visit HollywoodColumbus.com for more details. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, and tell me if this sounds familiar. Over the weekend, you went into your closet trying on shorts from last year. They were all too tight, so you searched deeper in the closet, looking through shorts you stashed away from thinner years. Maybe a big pair had gotten lost in the mix. No luck. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't buy bigger shorts. Instead, do what I did and fit into the ones from last year in just a few weeks with Awaken 180 weight loss. Heck, you'll be wearing your thin shorts again just a few weeks after that. How do I know? Because I'm still wearing my thin Austin shorts again this summer. I've kept my 50 pounds off thanks to Awaken 180's free maintenance support for life. Say it with me. I won't buy bigger shorts. Make that pledge, then call Awaken 180 and make the most out of this summer and every summer after. Awaken 180, your long-term solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or head online at awaken180weightloss.com. You won't regret it.
The Fan at 1460 ESPN Columbus is your radio home for Sunday Night Baseball.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Call The Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling today at 614-232-2222.
The Fan.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, it's that time of year again.
What time is that?
The time all the air conditioners start breaking down.
Oh, that time. Yep. Every year.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Like a swarm of bees. They all get together in a coordinated effort.
You mean the Queen air conditioner tells them all to break down?
Nah, they just get tuckered out in the heat, Aaron. Can we handle all the calls?
Sure, we have a swarm of highly trained coolness experts standing by.
Get Eco.
ECO. And we have $3.5 million in new service trucks to get them there the day you call.
The same day? Well, what if you don't call until...
We'll come as late as you'll stay up to let us in. Same day.
That explains all the revving engines.
It's like a beehive of activity, Jerry.
Do you know I invented that weird Scoopy thing you serve honey with?
You should invent something for ketchup, Jerry. It's America.
Ooh, now that's an idea.
Get Eco.
ECO. GetEco.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of saving a good deal more when you shop with M-Perks at Meijer. Some delicious blueberries, money saved. A creamy treat of cookie dough ice cream, that's money saved. Savings, savings, savings. Because every dollar spent is also 10 points earned in M-Perks, which you can use to save on your next grocery trip or up to $1 off per gallon on your next tank of gas. At Meijer, we work hard to help you save a good deal more for a whole lot less. That's bringing more good to life. Exclusions apply. See mperks.com for details.
Don't miss the Reds going against the Diamondbacks June 6th through the 8th in a 3-game series at GABP. Enjoy another post-game fireworks show on Friday, presented by PNC. Come back on Saturday when fans in attendance receive a Tyler Stevenson City Connect bobblehead thanks to St. Elizabeth Healthcare while supplies last. Wrap up the weekend Sunday with family and friends and some afternoon baseball. Get your tickets now at reds.com/tickets.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Ever want to be a radio star?
It's all about the radio.
Or at least hear your voice on the air?
The radio's all yours now.
This is the show for you. This is the Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Thanks to everybody that's already called in on this Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of your time away from work. One more call to get to on this Sunday, so let's head back out to the phone lines. Let's go to Ken. Ken, good morning. Thanks for hanging on the line. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
How you doing, guys? Good morning.
We're doing good, Ken. Do you have a school you're representing this morning?
Bishop Ready High School.
You hit that guy. He shouldn't have been standing there.
Home of the Silver Knights. Go ahead, Ken.
Hey, you talk about great events. 50 years ago this week, I got to caddy at Jack Nicklaus at the Memorial Tournament at the Pro-Am.
Oh, my goodness.
Really?
Yes. I caddied for Cider Country Club in high school. A buddy of mine's dad had connections, and we got to caddy there in high school. So I was in 76. I was going to Ohio State, and didn't have cell phones back then. My mom and dad got a phone call from Muirfield, and they were looking for caddies from Cider Country Club to caddy for the Pro-Am. And I got to carry a bag for some guy. I think he was a Huntington Bank president. And I worked at A&P grocery stores back in the day. I think I made like $2.50 an hour, and Jack was offering us $100 to come caddy. And it was a no-brainer. I called in sick.
I bet you did. That is too cool. What an opportunity. We were talking about once in a lifetime things. That's one of them for sure. Thanks so much for the call, Ken. Man, that would be like little Scotty Vegas's dream right there.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah, absolutely. So, like, when we're talking about the Memorial Tournament this week and everybody starts heading out there and trying to think of, like, okay, what's your spot? Now, you said you've been a couple times, And my recommendation for anybody that's heading out to Muirfield Village is you've got to see two things. One, go to a par 3 and watch the full hole, because that's fun to watch. Be near the green, and then be in a situation where you can go from the green to the tee box, because there's nothing more spectacular to me than watching these guys tee off with the driver, go 320, 340 yards off the tee. That's spectacular. So if you can find yourself a perfect spot, watch the action at a par 3 green, and then head to, I love going to a par 5 and watching them really rip it off the tee.
And it's always cool if you can get to a spot where, like, you could see a green and the tee at the same time.
There you go.
You see them finishing up on one hole, starting another. That's pretty cool, too. Scotty, I was close. I was close to being all in on Jake Diebler's basketball team for this year. I was super close.
Kind of like Joe Lunardi?
Yeah, and I don't understand that at all. But I'm not there anymore. I had all of my hopes on Darian Williams coming here. Guy that's transfer from Texas Tech, averaged 15.5 points a game. But more importantly to me, he had a hell of a run in the tournament for Texas Tech, averaged almost 24 points a game for them, dropped 30 in, I believe, their second round game in the tournament to help them move on. He was perfect for what this team needed. He was a wing guy, 6'6". Some people were ranking him as a power forward. That's not him at all. He's a true 3. He's a wing guy. He could have been your number 1, which is what this team needs. And John Mobley, I think, still has the chance to be the number 1 on this team. But we've seen the last few years, and this is no knock on him. He's a very good college basketball player. You're not going to win games with Bruce as your number 1. They needed someone to come in to take that number 1 role, let Bruce be Robin to someone else's Batman. And Darian Williams was that guy to me. And more importantly, there's not that guy left in the transfer portal now. RJ Luis, it looks like you're not in on. Jameer Watkins, you're not in on. Those guys might go to the NBA anyway. So I was very disappointed. If they got Darian Williams, I was all in for this Ohio State team being a top 15 team this year. Now this year, I think they'll be better than last year. So maybe you sneak into the tournament, but I don't think you're much different.
So I will say this. They spent a lot of money on the retention, right? Bringing the guys back. And I get it. They had to spend the money. They had to get Bruce back. They had to get Mobley back. And they absolutely had to get Royal back. So you did win in the fact that you were able to bring that core 3 back. However, they didn't make any huge splash additions in the transfer portal.
I like Tilly. I like Christoph Tilly.
Sure.
Brandon Knoll is, decent, but Ohio State didn't have a great thing with Tanner Holden coming in from Wright State. Knoll has the numbers at least. 2 bigs that can slash, but I don't know if it fixes their problems.
Yeah, no, and so I'm kind of with you. I was very disappointed because I was consistently checking Twitter and checking the message boards over the last month, like, okay, any news, and then you get the news that he's transferring to NC State, and it's like, man, how does Ohio State lose to NC State? And I know Will Wade is there, and that probably played a factor in it. He's new there. But it's a tough blow for Ohio State hoops fans, because you're looking at it and it does feel like there is a gaping hole at the 3 position, and I think they'll probably maybe move Royal over to the 3. But Ryan, I'm with you. Disappointments there. Now Joe Lunardi, which I referenced, has Ohio State projected as a 4 seed. He did his projections in the last week. He said Ohio State, he thinks, will be a top 16 team. So we'll see how that goes. I think that's a little generous.
And I'm guessing he's doing that because this Ohio State team has a lot of their production from last year coming back with Thornton and Mobley and Royal. But we've seen that wasn't enough. Now is another year of development there. I don't know. The other thing, Scotty, I don't think they've addressed very well here is their rebounding. We talked about Tilly. We talked about Knoll. And Knoll is a guy that averaged 8 rebounds a game, but if you watch his highlights, he's more of an outside player, a perimeter player at 6'8" than he is an inside guy. Tilly at 7 foot, same thing. He's a slasher, great off the pick and roll, only averaged about 5 rebounds a game last year. It feels like they're banking on Josh Ojonwuna to be healthy, which we just don't know coming off a knee injury. Now he could help their inside presence in their rebounding. Still,
if he's healthy.
They need another number one.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. I thought if Williams was here, I thought this was going to be a preseason top 10 team. Like, he is that good of a player and that good of an addition that I think Ohio State would have been a top 10 team. Now I think you're probably still a fringe top 25 type team. That's kind of my expectations are make the tournament.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't have too many expectations after that.
It broke my heart a little bit. Scotty, me and you, we got to get out of here. We're heading to the golf course.
Let's do it.
Thanks, everybody, for calling in and tuning in. Fan Sports Sunday coming up next. Dylan Tyre and Tim May. Then you've got some Reds and Cubs afterwards on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like early pay. Moving up payday so you could get your money faster. Up to 2 days faster. And there's no cost. It's your money, right? So stop playing the waiting game. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply.
Bats are us when dreams sunk in. Bats are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH. Bats are us when dreams sunk in. Bats are us.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. It's that time of year where your cooling costs are going to go up because you're trying to cool off your house, but the air is escaping out of your inefficient windows. So get them replaced with Window Nation's efficient windows that'll help you save money on your heating and cooling bills. Buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free, plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. No money down, no interest, no monthly payments until 2027, plus a lifetime warranty from Window Nation. 866-90-NATION to get your estimate today or windownation.com.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at MasheterFord.net. Thanks.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.